Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to do an update today on specifically what type of Crohn's disease I have. So getting diagnosed with Crohn's disease a few months ago, it's definitely been overwhelming now that I've kind of had some time to process everything that I know, had lots of doctor's appointments between October and February. I feel a little bit more informed kind of about my body and what Crohn's disease means specifically for me. So I recently had a doctor's appointment and specifically sat down with my gastroenterologist and said, among all my other questions, what type of Crohn's disease do I have specifically? So it's my understanding, and I don't pretend to be a medical professional by any means, but it's my understanding that there are technically 5 different types of Crohn's disease. According to my gastroenterologist, I have one that's the least common. Basically, he explained it to me that there are essentially 2 types, even though the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation lists 5 different types. But basically, he said they kind of split it into 2 categories. There's the type that impacts the upper digestive tract and the type that impacts the lower. So mine essentially impacts the upper, and he said that basically where mine impacts is where my stomach meets my small intestine. I have an area that's impacted there with inflammation, and then I also have portions throughout the rest of my small intestine. So I guess I technically have 2 of the 5, I'm not really sure, but basically what he told me was the kind of areas that impacts my colon, that are impacted by this Crohn's disease. He said that they often call the type that impacts only the upper, which is me for the most part, they call it duodenitis, I hope I'm saying that right, basically impacting your duodenum. So a lot of that, I guess it doesn't really matter unless, you're a medical professional, but one thing I found really interesting in my most recent appointment when I asked, what does this mean for me? Is it really even important to know what type I have specifically? And he said that it can be because oftentimes individuals with my specific Crohn's being so rare, I guess, or so uncommon, that he's seen that a lot of individuals with my specific type don't respond to treatment. So hopefully that's not the case for me. Things seem to be going okay so far, knock on wood, but that was one thing I did find that was really interesting, I guess, just in his professional experience, that people with this type seem to not generally respond as well to treatment. So we'll just have to see how that goes, and as things progress, if my treatment plans need to be changed, and that's something that, we'll definitely, make those changes. But overall, things seem to be going okay so far. I would love to hear from those of you who have Crohn's disease. Do you know what type you have? Has it mattered to you? Has anybody asked you? Have you changed things, differently based on what type you have? I think it's really interesting that one thing with Crohn's is that they said that it can impact all these different parts of your colon and of your digestive tract. That, I'm wondering if those things change, as the years go on. Is there a chance that, this inflammation could come up somewhere else in my body? And again, does that kind of change where it goes from here? So anyway, I just wanted to share kind of an update with some interesting news that I found out from the doctor. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next video.